Okay, so I did I think I did 3 levels before of dimensions of suffering, and I believe I've done 9 now. But my question is, what has been the impact of clearing out these dimensions of those that are suffering in that way? What has been the ripple effect for me doing that work?
Powerful question. Okay, so let me tune in. So the image I immediately get is like, um, so I don't know if this makes sense, but this is what I'm seeing. So it's almost like this smoky cloud, and then I see like they're not human. 'Cause they look like mummies for some reason, but they're like falling out of this cloud, like they're being cleared. You're releasing them of their suffering, and then their souls are free. So now they can go into their next life feeling more free of like karmic patterns are no longer serving and supporting them. Again, not every soul, but for many of these souls. The other ones aren't ready to be released of their karmic, uh, because they still have lessons to learn. But what you've done for them is to, so they're showing me, it's like, oh, it's almost like a pinball game. And they could either go down this chute or that chute or this chute, and you've just kind of projected them into the line chute that they need to be on, like the right trajectory
Okay,
in the next lifetime, so that they're not lost. They're not like, which way do I go? Like they're now
okay,
on the right
direction.
trajectory, and then needing, like, it's up to them. It's not your responsibility.
Yeah,
So this is really, they want to make this clear. It's not your responsibility after this. It's that now you've done you're living in your purpose, and you're helping them like just be on the right track
yeah.
for so that they don't have to stay in suffering because they're lost and they're just so yeah, some of these people are like the souls are really lost, like they're just kind of like wandering but aimlessly.
So, a question, because of the alignment of my personal experiences where I used to suffer with mental health and depression. Once
Yeah.
I healed those souls that through the higher council showing me on of understanding on removing them from me and how I don't suffer with severe depression anymore since going through that years ago. What, because they're in a vibration and a soul living in the human path, or if they're in different realities living in the physical form, now that I've cleared out, or in the way that I have, of those levels of those souls that were vibrating in that way, attaching to those living in physical forms, has there been any form of transformational change so those living in physical forms aren't affected like they once were of having so
Correct.
many?
Yes. What I'm feeling is lightened. Like some will still have elements
Yeah.
or aspects, like because it's not black and white, right? It's a spectrum.
Yes. Yep.
So they just won't feel the same intensity that they had previously.
Good.
Um, so yes, definitely
That's
the impact has been really powerful. And the
that's
thing is, they won't know it.
yeah, no, I
And
know.
that's fine because that's just ego, right? But
It's
if you have done um, your work to support them in lightening that, they'll still not need to. Now it's kind of like, with as you know, with any sort of mental health stuff, it's hard to see it's hard to have the energy to actually be motivated to work
yeah.
on anything. And so what you have supported these souls in doing when they are in 3D form is that you've helped lift that intensity so that now they can go and have the energy to do the work.
So I believe there were 9 vibrations of suffering. Are they able to align with you to tell me what these vibrations were that I've been a part of releasing from each one of the 9?
Let me tune in. Jealousy, anxiety, self harm, And that feels like not just physical, but like in all the different ways, like mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Depression, codependency, victim, abuse is coming up, whether it's self-inflicted or like outside inflicted. Lack of self-worth.
And then with that, because I actually, one of them, I had demonic beings pulling women naked through my room, hooked on chains around their neck.
Oh,
And I felt that was sexual abuse or different forms where they were abused sexually. So then would that have fallen under the
yeah,
abuse?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, the
Okay.
abuse category can be any form of
Any form of abuse
emotional,
of not
physical,
okay
non-consensual. Yeah.
of either forgiveness for themselves or what others have done to them. So either or with the abuse, the abused or
It
the
feels
abusers.
like, well, when you say forgiveness, like you,
For because they repeated, they become abusers typically, right? The
yeah,
abused.
yeah, it feels like case dependent, but yes, if it's self forgiveness and forgiveness for others, depending on the case.
Okay. Did they know when when my fullness of my higher self, when he formed all the forms of experiences I was going to go through, alignment that I had was they do not have any control over the human consciousness, the aliveness of thoughts created within that space, because that is our free will, and they put experiences before us to develop the aliveness of thoughts within the human mind. And my question with that is, did they know I would do, did they fully understand what they were creating of the work that I've done of these dimensions? Did they know this was going to unfold?
I'm getting a no, and then I'm getting a like consciously no, but on some level, it's kind of like
They were shooting for it?
no, there was no intention. They meaning the spirits, right?
Yes.
You know, in the realm of infinite possibilities, there was like
Yes.
on some level, there was like that's a possibility. It's a dark
Yes.
possibility. That's a possibility. So like in that way, yes, but it wasn't any sort of like, oh, we're gonna create this so that this like there wasn't
Okay.
much planning around it. It was
Yeah.
just in the infinite amount of possibilities that there are um, in all the realms and all that on that level, it feels like a major like big
Yes.
like just like super. I don't even have a word for it. Like just super like in the energy fields kind of consciousness. Yes,
Yeah.
but not in the like in the like closer consciousness.
Okay.
That making sense?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Everything is. I need to know more of the power of what these wings are entitling me to be able to do, whether it's levitating in this physical form or like what do these wings hold? Because each day more and more I feel them constantly opening and closing on my back, and I have the power of doing it consciously all the time. And I just need,
Powerful.
yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
information.
So what I'm getting is it's actually like the energy of I don't know very much about gargoyles, but like I see like a gargoyle energy. Like I think gargoyles are very much about protection, right? And again, I'm seeing it in cartoon form.
Yeah,
So um very much about protection, but these wings, so I'm this is very interesting. So this can be sent out to anywhere. Like it's wings of not just protection for you, but it also like depending on what intention you set with it, you can. It's almost like you can fan away whatever doesn't need to be there. No, I know I'm gonna brush this under a carpet way, but like in a like energetically,
yeah,
it feels like every swoosh of your wing
yeah,
like creates this gigantic energetic, powerful, again, depending on the intention, the
yeah.
ripple effect. So if there's something happening on the other side of the world, it feels like you can make an actual energetic imprint by visualizing um, what it is that you want to support. It's
Yeah.
just like there's something where you can just set the intention for your wings to like create the ripple effects for them to feel protected,
Mm.
um, for an openings of paths. So, for example, what I'm seeing is like with a child, it might just be like, okay, this scenario could have happened where that would have not turned out to be the best scenario. Like, not that it's ever great, but like that
Yeah.
would have been worse off. And
Yeah.
there's a path, and it's almost like you're energetically putting them in front of help. Like somebody's going to spot them
Yeah.
and help them. Um, that's what your wings are doing.
Okay.
It's really serving at a high level and invisible. Like energetically, it's there.
Yeah.
The level of like they'll like it just again there'll never be any trace around this, but it just that's what you're able to do is
Okay.
transform people's paths, like just get them on the right path.
Those that are suffering,
Yeah,
and the bigger, well, anyway, but though, that can transpire into a big way of setting the intention, sending out the energy to those beings in the physical form so that they can have the alignment of support to come to them on how it will unfold for them.
yes. It's
Okay.
it's very similar how you've been clearing like the for the souls in terms of like something feels like there's a sense of hope that comes for them.
Okay.
You don't,
Peace, hope, protection.
yes. And it's interesting because they may not feel it immediately because it's so 3D,
Yeah.
whereas you're working in the dimensions,
Yeah.
you're somehow that's being, I see it just being transpired into the 3D so that, yeah, whatever needs to come through to support them. You're calling, it's almost like you're calling in, you're pulling the forces
Yeah.
to support those people. Not done with the wings. I feel like
Oh,
there's
okay.
um so protection good. What else? What else? Shielding you. Like if you're getting overwhelmed, take these wings and shield yourself because it
Good.
almost gives you a cave.
That's what
Like,
I did last night in
oh,
bed.
beautiful. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Because it quiets everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, to try to help me sleep. And I thought about it and I wrapped my wings around my whole
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
And without
Beautiful.
even knowing, I didn't know, I just felt like doing it, right?
Yes. And you don't have to do that just while you're sleeping. It feels like you can do that when you're awake. The ability to shield yourself.
Oh, that's amazing.
There's more. Hang on. There's way more.
Oh,
Wings are very magical. Okay. They're bringing me. So I'm hearing past life. I'm just tuning in to see if it's about your past life or if you have an ability to support people in past lives. So it's a ladder. So you have these wings can support people in past lives. So I'm just gonna tune in and see how. Okay, so you have the ability when you're doing your healings with people to
yeah,
go into people's past lives. Do you do that now?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, good. And so what I'm seeing is you know how I speak light language of clear stuff?
yeah.
Yours is taking your wings and like literally like vibrating, like you're like literally stirring up the shit, like in a good way. But
Yes.
your wings, you can change the speed, you can do whatever you need to do to energetically clear things so they become fragmented and like start to
Broken apart so I can clear them.
exactly
Easier,
like it's
easier.
not solid, it's just broken,
Yeah.
breaking up things to shaking it up, breaking it up, and then what they're showing me like flying rocks, like if they're like whatever the past lives are, but they'll just fall to the ground and then like be handed over to Mother Earth. And then there will be other clients where it will these again depending on like what's needed for them and their highest good and truth, but it's like things shake up and then there'll be pieces where they need to look at. For some of them, some of these pieces will come. It's almost like if a rock was broken up and then you try to put the rock back together, but not in the same way. Now it's a new formation of this rock. So for some people, it's going to be that so that they experience life differently. What else? What else is? I feel like there's so much more. Like I feel like our ways have multiple infinite purposes. So, yeah. They keep changing. So it was kind of like the gargoyle stone color and like a gray. And then I saw it as golden wings. Now I see it as white with gold trim. It helps ascend people, yourself and others. Again, when you're working with your clients, it just you'll know when like you just use the wings in
Yeah.
whatever way you feel called. But then sometimes it'll help. Like I literally see the wings like throwing somebody up to like ascend them. Um, Metaphorically. Dream time. So I'm seeing like a night sky of stars. Still wings are white with gold trim. It feels like your wings also help others in dream time. Almost like they can like pluck the feathers from your wings. Like so you will what this looks like is you will it's almost like you're energetically giving them a feather, like you're in your work. Not everybody, you'll know when. And they take that feather as a support to bring it into dream time, where they'll do more work and whatever you're processing with them, you're helping them with. And the healing happens in dream time for them, like it continues to. What other purposes are there? So I'm getting romantic love. Again, this is in the energy of you being a healer for others who are suffering in relationships. Um, so I just see the wings being like reddish pink, like white, but then there's red pink background now. They're showing me, like, for example, a client who maybe keeps dating the same kind of person who
Yeah.
is the same karmic patterns with like what your wings do is you literally when you're healing sessions, your wings just boop, over the to right path, get them in out of that state, out of that pattern. Sometimes it'll be like the past life shaking shit up first, but that gets them right in front of who they're meant to meet.
For aligning them on the higher vibrational scale for themselves for a higher good.
Like and in
To
the
take them out of the, yeah, okay.
yeah,